This fantasy football update for Fraggle Rock is brought to you by Chips Ahoy Chewy Cookies. If they're not Chips Ahoy, they're not chewy. I'm back! I'm back, and so are the updates, guys. New job, new everything. I finally got some damn time to do some updates. It's been unbelievable. And of course I come back after my 49ers have tied the Rams. But anyhow, I missed midseason reports. I missed so much. So many things going on in the league. There's so many close games. But first, I don't have time to go through all the winners of all the weeks and everything like that. So I'm just going to congratulate Week 10 winners because that's how I do, and I was part of it. So let's do that. Congratulations to Week 10 winners, Fraggle Wembley, who is also the ultimate scorer, with 135 points over Dirschball, who had only 73 points. Then we have congratulations to Sexy Time Explosion, 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 who got carried to victory by a very unlucky source in the Dallas Cowboys defense. And Kelvin Johnson, hey, Kelvin Johnson's alive and scoring touchdowns. Holy shit, things can actually happen. Now, the German's going to want fucking AP, Frank Gore, and Ray Rice for Kelvin Johnson because he put up 24 points this week. Shit. Anyhow, he won over Team Get Some 98-88. In matchup number 3, the winner, congratulations to Fraggle Gabo with 107-86 victory over Show Me Your TDs. Alright, Jeff, next year, we're going to search for something. If you can't think of something incredibly good, Show Me Your TDs, yeah, it's better than what you had before the thing with Katy Perry. I can't remember it right now. Just do something Fraggle Rockian. Just do some Fraggle Rockian. Let's be honest, 2 winners of the league, and those 2 teams have pretty much made the playoffs every single year, have had a Fraggle Rock themed user, past name guy thing, team name since the beginning. Fraggle Gabo and Fraggle Wembley. So, think of it. Anyhow, 107-106, congratulations, Gabo. Despicable Me claims a victory over Fraggle Boober, 98-50. Oh, and good news for Despicable Me. Phillip Rivers actually did something fantasy-wise. 21 points. And last but not least, Rumham is the lucky winner of the week with the lowest total amount for a winner, 86 points. And he beat Barroom Heroes, who had 68 points. Not quite the seller, but knocking on Boober's door. Anyhow, let me go through a little bit of stuff. Everybody looks, I heard some people saying, oh, Fraggle division is not as strong as the Gorgs division. Well, let's be honest. Get Some has the second most points in the league behind Wembley. The second most. And yet he's still only 4-6 because he has been scored a whopping 1,063 points against. 1,063. Just for instance, to compare, you take Show Me Your TDs, who's been the luckiest out of anybody else. He's been only 871 points against this year. That is almost a full 200 points difference. After 10 weeks, that is almost 20 points per week. That is crazy. Kind of feel bad for Get Some. I told you guys he had a good team. He does. He should be number 2 in this league. He is way down and in desperate need of 3 wins. He's going to have to win out to get the playoffs. But let me kind of freshen up the playoff picture since we are going into Week 11, so we have 3 weeks left to the playoffs. We have Fraggle Wembley at 7-3. We have Rumham at 7-3. Unless if a lot of weird stuff happens, Wembley and Rumham are going to be in the playoffs. Rumham having a little bit more trouble, mainly because he has 3, 6, and 4 teams right behind him in his division, even though not one team in Gorgs has scored over 100 per week. But I digress. This is where the clusterfuck happens, guys. Despicable Me, Fraggle Gabo, and Sexy Time Explosion, all 6-4. It's going to matter on matchups. Unlucky for Rumham, Gabo, Despicable Me, and Sexy Time. Gabo does go against me this week. Unfortunately, it is a bad bye week for me. So if he's going to pick up a win, it's going to be this week. Other than that, a lot of matchups. I'm going to run through them when we go through the matchups. Everybody's going to get a good one since I have not been around for a long time. And so I will, actually put time into everybody's and everything like that. But obviously, people who are completely eliminated is Dershfall and Boober. That's it. Everybody else actually has a chance. Get Some is the longest shot, who still has a chance because he's 4-6. The loss this week to Sexy Time Explosion really hurt. The bottom of Gorg's division is 5-5. That would be Barroom Heroes. And he actually is the second leading scorer in Gorgs, and yet with the worst record in Gorgs. Another unlucky man. Now, this is the funny thing. Despicable Me, the league runner-up last year and champion from 2 years ago, is 6-4, second in his division, and yet he has only outscored his opponents by 14 points. He is the Baltimore Orioles of Fraggle Rock. So it's, what they say, my mama always told me, it's better to be lucky than good, and he is definitely lucky than good. But on the plus side, Chris Johnson is showing a little bit of life, but no MJD, so that I guess kind of hurt him, that trade that he made early in the season, and see if Chris Johnson can kind of keep it up. Who knows? We'll see. They really haven't gone against staunch defenses lately, but that doesn't really matter in fantasy. Points are points. Anyhow, Week 11 is coming up. We have some very key matchups coming to the playoffs that really could mean a big amount. We have Wembley, who's 7-3, going against Gabo, who is 6-4. A lot more important than Gabo than Wembley. ESPN is showing this very, very, very close. We'll see how that turns out. Thankfully for Gabo, Wembley is getting hurt a little bit by bye weeks this week. But after that, on full strength, and you guys are in trouble. Then we have Despicable Me and Barroom Heroes. If Barroom Heroes loses, we can pretty much count him out, going to 5-6, and the second place Despicable Me moving up to 7-4. But if it switches, it can really jumble up the picture, especially if Gobo loses to moi. And then we have 6-4 Sexy Time Explosion going against Team Dershfall. He should win that match. He needs to win that match to keep up in the Gorg division. Then we have Team Get Some being on life support, going against Team Rumham, who is 7-3 and leading the Gorgs. Rumham needs this just to stay on top of everybody there and not assure his playoffs. But unless if a lot of crap happens, he's pretty much in the playoffs if he beats Get Some this week. And last but not least, we have Show Me Your TDs on life support in the Gorg division at 5-5, going against Fraggle Boober, who could be 6-4 in this league with points scored. He's just been unlucky and been scored against the second most, right below what was getting scored against Get Some. So as much as 2-8 looks bad on Boober, his team's a lot better than what people think, points-wise. And unfortunately, it's just, the luck of the draw in fantasy. Anyhow, I have a little surprise for you guys during the matchups. It's not going to be that much of a surprise because, I always put the headings and everything like that. But either way, I will see you. Make sure you give me a click and all that good stuff so I can see it. And by the way, trade deadline is fast approaching, so any trades you want, you can do it. If by chance you want some trade that includes a future draft pick, I need to see it on the message board with both parties agreeing to it. If I don't see it, it will not happen. All right? Anyhow, guys, I'll see you in the matchups.